All right, let's get right to it. Got an ASP.NET MVC interview on the calendar? Feeling that pressure? Good, because today we're going to give you the high-impact guide to totally nail it.
You know that feeling, right? Part excitement, part pure panic about what you actually need to study? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. It's a huge topic. And the real trick is knowing what to focus on.
But hey, that's why we're here. We're going to take all those hours of potential prep time and boil them down to the 5 most critical, most asked topics. Think of this as your secret weapon, your high-yield crash course.
So here's the game plan. We'll start with the basics. What is MVC? Then we'll jump into the whole evolution to ASP.NET Core. After that, the big one, dependency injection. We'll trace the request pipeline and wrap up with how to handle view data. Simple as that. Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first. The one question you will 100% absolutely be asked, so what is MVC? Seriously, how you answer this sets the stage for everything that follows.
So, MVC is really just an architectural pattern. It's not a thing. It's a way of doing things. It's all about separating your app into 3 main jobs. You've got the model. That's all your data and business rules. The view is what the user actually sees, the UI. And the controller, that's the traffic cop. It takes user requests and tells the model in the view what to do.
But the follow-up is always, and why should I care? That's what they really want to know. And the magic phrase here is separation of concerns, or SOC. It just means everything has its own job. Your display logic isn't tangled up with your business logic. This makes everything way easier to test, which is a massive deal for test-driven development. Plus, you get full control over your HTML, and it's super lightweight because it's not bogged down by old stuff like view state.
All right, next up. This is where you prove you're not stuck in the past. You have to know the difference between the classic ASP.NET MVC 5 and the modern beast that is ASP.NET Core.
Honestly, it boils down to 3 huge game-changing points. Number 1, ASP.NET Core is cross-platform. You can build it and run it on Windows, Mac, Linux, anywhere. That's massive. Number 2, performance is just through the roof. It was rebuilt from the ground up to be incredibly fast. And third, configuration is so much cleaner. That clunky old web.config file, gone. Replaced by a simple, easy-to-read app-settings.json file. Huge quality life improvement.
Okay, deep breaths. We've arrived at the topic, the one you absolutely positively cannot afford to mess up. It's the concept that interviewers just love to dig into. Dependency injection.
And hey, it's for a really good reason. If you can explain this well, it tells them you get how to build software that's modern, easy to maintain, and ready to scale.
So what the heck is it? Think of it this way. DI is all about creating loosely coupled code. Instead of a component, say, your controller, building its own tools, like creating a new database connection from scratch, it just asks for one. It says, hey, I need a database connection, and something else provides it. This makes your code way more flexible and, oh my gosh, so much easier to unit test. It's a game changer.
And the best part? ASP.NET Core makes it super simple to do. It's basically a 3-step recipe. 1, you define your service and its contract, the interface. 2, you register it in your startup file, basically telling the app, hey, when someone asks for this interface, give them this service. 3, you just ask for it in your controller's constructor. That's it. The framework does all the heavy lifting for you.
Now, the follow-up question that separates the pros from the novices is about lifetimes. This is how they test your depth. It's simple, really. A singleton is one instance for the entire app forever, one and done. Scoped means one instance per web request. So every time a user hits your site, they get a fresh set of services for that request. And transient? That's a new instance every single time anything asks for it. Fresh, fresh, fresh.
Okay, so you've got the architecture down. But what actually happens, second by second, when a user's browser sends a request to your server? We need to talk about the request pipeline.
A request doesn't just magically appear at your controller. Nope. It travels down what's called a middleware pipeline. Imagine an assembly line. Each stop on the line is a piece of middleware. The first stop might check if you're logged in. The next might add some logging. Each piece does its job and then passes the request down the line. After it gets through this whole pipeline, the routing system finally figures out which controller to call. Then your code runs, a view gets built, and the finished response travels all the way back out to the user.
All right, let's bring it home with a super practical day-to-day question. You've done your logic in the controller. Now, how do you actually get the data over to the view so the user can see it? You've basically got three main tools in your toolbox here, and yeah, they're going to ask about the difference. So view data and view bag are pretty similar. They both only last for the current request. The second the page is rendered, poof, their data is gone. View data is an old-school dictionary. View bag is a bit more modern and dynamic. But the one you really need to focus on is temp data. Why? Because it has a special power. It lasts for the current request and the very next one.
And that special power is perfect for one classic scenario. Picture this. A user fills out a form, hits submit. Your code saves the data and then redirects them to a thank you page. Well, how do you get a success message to show up on that new page? That's the job for temp data. It's designed to survive exactly one redirect, show its message, and then it cleans itself up. Perfect.
Okay, let's do a super quick lightning round, your interview cheat sheet. 1. MVC is all about separating concerns. 2. ASP.NET Core is the modern king. It's faster, cross-platform, and simpler. 3. Dependency injection is your key to flexible, testable code. 4. Requests go through a middleware pipeline. And 5. Use view data and view bag for a single view, but use temp data for redirects. Got it? Those are your talking points.
And let's end on this thought. Look, passing the interview is just step one, right? The real prize is understanding that these aren't just buzzwords to get a job. Separation of concerns, loose coupling, middleware pipelines, these are the core principles you're going to use to build amazing, scalable modern web apps. So go in there, show them what you know, and good luck.